Hey everybody, this is Ebony and welcome to EMMFASHION. Today we're going to be trying out the Jackie Aina palette for Anastasia Beverly Hills, so you know what that means. Jackie, 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 Jackie. Okay, now that we've gotten out the way, today we're not only going to be talking about the Jackie palette, but I'm going to be talking about my experience while living in New Jersey. I only stayed for a year, but it definitely felt like a long year. Also, disclaimer, I am not an MUA. I'm not a mega beauty influencer. Most of the time I will not know what I'm talking about because I really don't spend a lot of money on makeup. That being said, this will be the most expensive and most luxury item I've ever bought for eyeshadow. This means that right off top, the quality is going to be 80 times better than whatever I've ever used, so I'm gonna like it. And it's from Jackie, and I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna like it. I am a little late, but it's still in stock in Anastasia's website, Ulta, and Sephora. So once you see this, you can copy one. Did I get this on a payment plan? Yes. Will you judge me? No. So now that we've gotten all that out the way, let's get into makeup and talk about Jersey. Alright guys, I got up close and personal because you're gonna see what I'm doing with my eyes. And I always start with my eyes because I'm not mom. Here's the palette outside of the box. I really wish I would have gotten the launch pack, but unfortunately I was in the middle of moving from Jersey to Chicago. Not only did I not have the time or the money, but I didn't have a living space. So here is the inside of the palette. Colors are really pretty. Ooh, don't close on me. And looking at this palette, obviously it's very Jackie. She has the mirror in the back. Also, the color scheme or the color story. She uses all these colors regularly, which I like, and she finds creative ways to put them together, as well as she loves her some dual chrome. I'm going to be using the brush as well. I originally went out to Jersey after my husband graduated with his master's, and we went out there to try to cultivate some type of performance career, mainly operatic. The trip there was really nice for the most part, but it was definitely tiring. We were continuously told to wait until we actually got into Jersey to look for jobs and places to stay because everything works really quickly there. And while some things did happen pretty quickly, a couple of auditions and so on and so forth, interviews, not anything that we were really looking for to sustain us popped up really quickly. A lot of things that we really wanted to do, we had missed by the time we moved over there, which was fine. We had to make do, not a big deal. But, you know, we really weren't happy about not being able to do exactly what we wanted to do right off the bat, because we just kept having these expectations that, oh, the East Coast, that's where all the work is. Though it's competitive, there's just a lot of work. So we'll be able to get in and fit in somewhere. That ended up not being the case. It was very hard to find anything. We did a few auditions. Nothing really panned out seriously. And I have my, I have kind of a suspicion of why, but I'll get into that later. So we were scrapping for work. I started working at Nordstrom, which I had worked previously for a while. And my husband got a job right out the bat at the hotel we stayed at. We stayed at this Hampton Inn for 2 weeks before we can move in anywhere. As you know, that can cost a lot of money. But anyway, we get jobs, we struggle. I quit Nordstrom after like a day and was embarrassed about it, but also very free. And I started to DoorDash and teach privately. We were really concerned about not making rent. Our rent was $1,400 for a 1-bedroom. No upgrades. The only bright side was there was space, there was a garage, and there were nicely upkept wooden floors. So we struggled upon struggled upon struggled, obviously. We also went for a teacher to study with him and hopefully get some connects so we can start working consistently. The good side was we got a lot of vocal help and technique that we needed, but we weren't really seeing any reward come out of our investment. Private lessons can be expensive, and this teacher was well worth the price, but we were just too poor. We are a married couple, we're two able-bodied folks, but at the same time, it's very difficult to try to put our money together, living in a complete opposite cost of living than we were living before, and trying to invest in our careers. Okay, so I'm bringing out the Jackie palette. I'm gonna use the brush that's inside. I'm gonna use this more dense side, shorts, and I'm gonna pat it in my crease. I'm gonna start with edges. So I want to go with a more red look, which I know I've done before, but I want to do it with this palette. So yeah, it was very difficult to try to edge out a career for ourselves, sustain ourselves, and we don't have a lot of financial help. I'm gonna pat that in. It's already pretty. I only put in a light touch. The same year I was in Jersey, I had a lot of death happening, and it really put me in a really dark place. Although at the same time, I felt the most free in my life in Jersey as well. So my husband just happened to audition for Chicago Lyric. He gets a job and we're like, bye Jersey. But I just want to tell you some pros and cons about Jersey. The first pro is that Jersey has pretty nice weather. It's pretty livable for most of the year. You feel all seasons. As someone who is from Texas, I can tell you, you feel hot, 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 a little bit of cold, swampy, hot all year long. Now, a con about Jersey is that the cost of living is high AF. Granted, you get more space in Jersey than you do New York. For the price, it's still, in my opinion, after living in Houston and Las Vegas, not worth the price. The next pro about Jersey is that the scenery is really nice. Between the hills and the greenery, it makes me think of Europe. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm going to use to deepen up this edges color is Credit, which is the dark brown color right here. Now, the next con is steep hills. As nice as it is to look at those steep hills, I'm not fond of walking and climbing all of those steep hills. I'm just not. I mean, it felt like I was climbing a mountain every time I just wanted to go, you know, a third of a mile up the street. The next pro is that I lived in North Jersey. So I was literally just over the bridge to New York City, which was the whole point, right? We wanted to have easy access to New York City for auditions and shows and stuff. And we were like 15-20 minutes away, which leads me to my next con. It was the worst commute of my life. When I tell you that a commute to New York from where I stayed at in New Jersey, supposed to take 15 to 20 minutes. That bridge and the Lincoln Tunnel takes you at least an hour to an hour and a half. Wise way. Actually, Y and house way. Now I'm taking the back side of this brush and I'm just gonna blend out Credit. This next pro is a stretch, but I'm gonna say that Jersey was generally a safe place to stay. Specifically, the neighborhood that we were staying in. Which leads me to my next con. Jersey was completely over-policed. So in Jersey, at least in North Jersey where I was staying at, there was a lot of like little towns that were like 5 to 10 minutes from each other. Each little town had their own police department. Do we need that? Normally I wouldn't care, you know, like, okay, there's police, that means maybe lower crime, question mark. But when I tell you these cops were on the prowl for the smallest of parking tickets, for the smallest of jaywalking infractions, it's actually very ridiculous. So I hated that about New Jersey. I actually got the most tickets I've ever had in my entire life while staying in Jersey for that 1 year. Next, I'm gonna go under my eye with edges, and then I'm gonna darken it up with credit. My next pro is actually the people. The people generally, where I stayed at least, and for the most part, even while I was driving, were pretty nice, which I wasn't expecting since you hear all of rumors about the East Coast having rude folks. But as people, when I ran into people in Jersey and New York, I actually didn't have an issue. I had a lot of people willing to show me how to get to places and being very nice to me and helping me get along. This leads me to my next con, which is the drivers. The drivers in New Jersey, especially New York, were the worst drivers of all time. You had to be extremely aggressive just to move from one lane to the next. You have to literally cut people off and be on the verge of shooting them in that car to get anywhere. Anyone that has ever visited us in New Jersey was very shocked about the driving situation. So my last pro is that it's kind of diverse, question mark. I mean, they have Korean places that were really good, a lot of jobs that we're looking for specifically Korean folks or Korean speaking people. They also had a big Latino community. My husband's main barber was Colombian, so we also kept getting mistaken for Colombian. So there's that. This leads me to my last con for the day, but really I have many more cons. So my last con is the tolls. I mean, really, the tolls are $1 million. Specifically, the toll to New York is $15. Jersey has tolls, really, Ebony? And the way Jersey is set up, a lot of places you can't go within even Jersey without an Easy Pass or without going through tolls. You pay $100,000 just to keep up your Easy Pass so you can get from point A to point B. Now I'm about to go into Wiggly's, the red shimmery color, and put it over the places in my eye where I put my concealer. I really couldn't stand living in Jersey. There were a few things that I really liked. What I liked most was the people that I did meet and got to know and taught, because my students were great and the people that I worked for were pretty great. But Jersey as a whole, would I come back and live? Nah. I could sit here and give you more cons about Jersey, but I won't. I will let you be the judge for yourself if you go over there and live there. But that was my experience with living in Jersey for 1 solid year. I'm using this baby brush and putting Wiggly's in my bottom lash line, but I'm gonna go back with edges with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, wherever that may be. Found it. So I'm gonna clean that off and use edges, just because I feel like I'm losing a little bit of that reddish rust color that I liked at the beginning. I'm gonna be honest about this brush, it's not wowing me, and that's coming from someone who's not brush extraordinaire, but it does the job, I guess. I'm sorry the quality of my camera is not strong enough to give you really the true pigment of most of this stuff. So I'm gonna use this other baby brush, and I'm gonna use Duelist as my inner corner highlight. I'm gonna clean up the rest of my face, finish my eyes, and finish the video. Alright guys, here's the final look. Hopefully you like it. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a makeup artist. I am not a major beauty influencer. I do not have the range, but I wanted to review this palette because I love Jackie. And if you wanted someone's opinion that you don't feel like gets PR or has a lot of money, then you can get an honest review from me. My overall review for the palette is obviously I love it. It's better than any eyeshadow palette I've ever had in my life. I didn't really have any issues with fallout for the most part, as you guys saw, specifically for the matte shades. Now I got a little bit of fallout when it came to the chunkier glitter shades, but other than that, oh, by the way, I put Zam a little bit on my lid, so you probably can't see it from this distance, but I just put a little bit on there so it can shine a little bit. And I use Soleil as a highlight for my cheeks and nose and whatnot. So hopefully this video was informational for you, specifically about Jersey and about Jackie's palette. If you don't already have it, I would suggest getting it, especially if you can get it on a payment plan with Anastasia Beverly Hills website. And honestly, just support Jackie just to support Jackie. I mean, she has been one of the main pioneers in YouTube and has moved forward as a dark-skinned black female MUA, which is a big feat. And she's been on YouTube for now 10 years and has been doing the work, continues to do the work. I stand, obviously, and you should too. Other than that, I hope you continue to come by on my channel. Thank you so much for watching my video today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Please remember to like and subscribe, share my video, as well as hit the bell notification if you want to see my videos as soon as they drop. Now I'm gonna let you guys go so I can take all this back off because I'm not going anywhere. I'll see you guys later. Bye.